feel like Martha Stewart today in this outfit. Like I'm in the countryside. I've just walked my 30 acres of garden.
Yeah. That's a good look. It's
And then
a
you
good
look down,
vibe.
you're like, nah, that shit's wrinkled right now. I've been
You're
wearing
like,
this
wait,
all day.
this isn't $600.
Wait a minute.
I don't know. She has a different price point than we have, I think. I thought that I just heard the camera turn off and I was like, we got to go.
No, we're here. We're rolling.
We're here. And I just have to say, I'm so proud of us for doing an entire work day. And now we're recording a podcast at like 5 p.m.
Work day? Let's talk about a work week. This was a week. We really earned a Friday night. You know what I mean? Like some weeks you get to Friday night and you're like, I mean, feels no different than Wednesday night.
Every other day is kind of like this. Yeah.
No, this feels like, all right, we fucking made it.
Yeah, I'm excited to have this Friday.
Very accomplished. Yeah. Oh, and my best friends are in town and I haven't seen them in a bit. So we're going to celebrate. I'm going to get to see my girls. I mean, outside of you, of course, but like have fun. Yeah.
It'll be great.
I know. I'm really stoked.
Good.
So today we've got, I want to lead in with just how you doing?
Oh, okay. Yes.
You know, like we just talked about, it was a week, but like outside of that.
How am I doing? I'm doing well. Yeah.
Great.
I feel really like, yeah, just like good. Like the other day, you and I, actually yesterday, you know how you do that? And it's like, oh, the other day. And I'm like, oh my God, that was yesterday. A lot of life has happened. But the other day, yesterday, we were walking on the beach. And before we saw the seal, I was thinking, I feel like I'm in the right place right now. And that's like such a rare feeling. Like I rarely feel that, to be honest. And yesterday I was walking on the beach and I was like, I feel like this is just where I'm meant to be, like this space and time doing exactly what I'm doing. And then I just kind of just was in that for like 10 minutes and I was like, okay. And then it was gone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good also. I mean, that would be kind of a lie. I feel like today in specific, I've had like a weird physical day.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But yeah, because Madison's been present for it and she's probably like, oh, Rosie, hi.
But I will say, like, I also love Fridays because we have like a new thing where we go get brunch out and like work on our computers outside.
Love you. I don't know if that's going to continue after today's experience.
There's so many other things on the menu.
Are you catching the drift? Like I might have had like a full reaction. No, I want to go out and get brunch. I just like that might not be the spot. We'll see. We'll try it again next week. I'm in turmoil
to
still.
Other spots, obviously, but literally, I did not get a stomachache from my meal.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Anyways, we go to Nectarine Grove in Encinitas, which is pretty great. If you want to try it, don't stalk us.
It's
but
bomb.
Try it.
It's bomb.
Okay.
Someone pulls up and starts honking, yelling Madison. We have to post those still.
Oh, I didn't?
No.
Oh my God, you guys, I feel like I do something in my head and then I don't actually ever get around to doing it.
That's
I'm like,
a
what?
real thing. That's why people aren't typically supposed to say ideas out loud because then you, in your brain, already think you've
checked
accomplished.
it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you listen to last week's episode, awesome. We shared the story about meeting our friend Nathan at Nectarine Grove, but then also Philip and I drove by and embarrassed the shit out of Madison. If you haven't listened to that episode, go do it. But I will post those on stories and I'll make sure that I add them to a highlight so you actually have a chance to see them if you're listening to this.
This becomes like a whole thing.
Yeah. I would love to collect some more, but
I think about it when I'm running in public. I think about that. I'm just like, one day I will see Phil or Tess like driving by because they now have my location. So I just think like they're going to be driving and I'm just going to hear a honk.
I mean, when you're out on a run, it's not that bad because like you're in motion.
That's true.
Versus you're at the shop and you had to sit in your silence.
Yeah. Yeah. In my embarrassment. Yeah. Well, good. Okay, great. So we shall go into hot takes.
Yeah. I don't even know really what sparked this. We were just sitting working alongside each other today and I know what sparked it is.
Yes, it's because you had a hot take.
I have a hot take here. My first one is that robust flavors are fucking awful. Like having like really flavorful food, awful. At least for me. I don't know if a lot of people would agree with me on this. I'm a bland food girl for life. And like not totally bland where like, oh, I don't add salt to my food. but I'm talking herbs and spices. Keep that shit off my plate because it fucks with me. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's IBS, but like it's coming out of the back end. I'm burping. I feel awful.
Yeah, she was attacked by a chimichurri today, basically, is what we're trying to say. In many ways, in more ways than one.
Yeah.
And so she was just like, hot take, I don't like flavorful food.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, those reactions don't happen to everyone. And she's like, you eat plain too. And I was like, you're
Madison
right.
has like the same 6 to 10 foods she eats every fucking week. So then she's like,
because I love them.
I mean, I get it. Some people can eat a really big variety of food. It's not me. It's not you.
Yeah.
You stick to a really like consistent routine.
Very.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I need to. Because it's just like, I don't know. It's like safety and also it's like good and yummy. And I know none of those foods hurt my stomach. And so I always feel good.
Yeah, and then you go out for Friday morning brunch to like do some
and
co-working,
get something
and
that's
you get a
just
nice
off the wall
steak bowl. What the fuck? With like sweet potato and zucchini.
That's
and like just so
hack.
roughage.
No, it's a hack. Is that like basically if I can and I go out for a meal, I just get what I make at home.
But then life is boring because you're just always
eating
the same
boring
shit.
because I don't get a stomach ache and have diarrhea.
We don't say the D word around here, okay? It's a sensitive subject right now.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a hot take from me. What's a hot take from you?
No, that's a really good one. Okay, so another one or one that I have is no cologne on men.
Oh, I second this,
yes.
third this, fourth this.
Absolutely.
All day.
I am down for a good smelling deodorant. I think that's, I love that. Like they lift their arm, they're near you, kind of get like a smell of it. I'm like, I love that signature smell. Great. But a cologne.
Way different.
No, it's so thick and just like you walk into a room and it's like someone is here before actually like seeing them. I just don't. It gives me a headache.
I always like I have so many vivid memories of like walking down a path and I can smell the man in front of me.
Yes.
And I have to walk behind him the whole time unless I go and make an effort to pass. And if I can smell you like that,
I know.
You're too
It's
loud.
offensive.
It's
sometimes.
too loud.
Yeah,
Quiet
I agree.
it down.
It kind of reminds me of like how I was running this morning and a man was walking on the running path, biking path where everyone's exercising and he was smoking a cigarette. And I just thought, that's so selfish and so rude. I just run by her aggressively coughing.
Do you not remember this at the beach? We were in Malibu.
Of course I remember.
And we're just having our nice, peaceful day. And this fucking couple next to us is chuffing them. And when I'm not just like, smoking a quick ciggy. Chuffing. And we're, I guess,
chain reaction.
Downwind, just sitting in it. And I'm like, now I could have been way more direct. Yeah, like, excuse me, that fucking stinks. Can you please put that out?
She was like waving her hand in front of her face, coughing aggressively, and I was like, dude, that is some
the wave. Chill
really
out,
good.
Tess. But I don't like that shit.
No, I don't think you're even allowed to smoke on the beach in Malibu for sure. Encinitas is a smoke-free city. It is. Yeah.
That I kind of feel the same way. Y'all might not agree on this. This could be another hot take. When someone plays their music too fucking loud.
This is one I agree with
You're
as
at
well.
the beach
In a public space.
I don't want to be
listening
to
we're not on the same vibe.
No.
We're not. Unless it's Krungbin or something
different.
Really mellow, like that's easy listening. Okay. Great. But it usually isn't. It's usually the worst music you've ever heard.
Or you're on a hike.
Yes, I hate that.
And the guy that's like either right behind you or right in front of you has some speaker. Maybe it's just his phone speaker blasting. Just listen to nature.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm here for the bird songs. Yeah. Okay. I don't want the pop from 2019. All right.
Exactly right.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Okay, I guess I could have used that as a hot take, so go ahead.
Okay, next for me is do not talk about weight loss in a fitness class.
No.
I could not dislike that anymore. We are not all here to lose weight. In fact, many people are sensitive to even talking about that. Specifically, this happens in yoga sometimes where I'm like, okay, I'm here for like the spirituality element and like moving in flow with my body. When I hear this speeds up your metabolism, detoxing, twisting, I'm just like, That is unsolicited. I don't even think that's factual. That's just please no. And it does just show you where the instructor is at too.
Yeah.
You know, it does. And that's why they're
projecting it outwards.
Exactly.
Maybe.
So then I just, wipe it out of my brain. I'm like, that's not my story. It's okay. But that pet peeve.
I don't
or
like
they
that
talk
either.
Yeah, it's not
or
good.
like
too much about the body. And
summer's coming, bikini
yes,
ready.
Yes.
Please don't lick my feet right now.
Do they like lick the feet on camera?
Yeah, I think that's incredibly triggering for many people and so unnecessary. There's so many other benefits of moving your body and having a regular practice.
Yes.
Knock it off, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And stop capitalizing on people's fears about not being good enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like they need to be in this class for the goal of a certain body composition.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This one is not as hot of a take, but Stanley Cups, you heard me, not hockey, but a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Whack.
Oh.
You want to know how I know it's whack? I don't even own one. And I know it's whack.
I don't own one either.
We have Yetis. We used to have Hydro Flasks. Rosie's losing it.
But then we're now in North County, so Yeti is where it's at, you know?
Guess so. But the Stanleys spill. So every gal who comes into...
We're done. Okay. Love you, but no thank you.
Who comes into Pilates and accidentally knocks it over, it spills. And I feel bad for them because now half their water's gone. But then we also need to clean up the flood. So I think...
flood, because it's like a gallon.
Yes.
Those things are huge.
So I think Stanley Cups are whack. That's a hot
good
take.
one. That is a hot take. Yeah. Crocs can be hot.
Crocs can be
hot,
sexy.
dude. Specifically, I don't know what season number it is. Below Deck Med, Luca wearing Crocs as he's being the bosun on Below Deck, and I just,
I've thought
such a vibe.
long and hard about a pair of Crocs.
I have too, dude.
It just seems
it might
functional.
happen. They just
this
seem
is crazy
super,
coming from you.
I know.
I think we talked about this, and
look
you said
cool.
no.
I probably did say no,
Yeah.
but you can make them look pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
What
you.
else do I got here? Oh, okay. This is okay. Enough. Just licking my toes.
I know. I think we have to ignore her.
Yeah. Okay. 15-minute to 20-minute standing workouts at your kitchen counter are it.
Okay.
I do these very regularly throughout my week, whether I need a little energy boost or I just don't have time to get out of my house and go to the studio to actually move my body. There's something so palatable about just 15 minutes. And I know that sounds like, how is that going to do anything for you? I swear to you, this shit works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I get so sore from doing these moves because I don't know. I think it's amazing. So I swear by them.
Yeah.
And I wanted to throw this in because I feel like a lot of people have this conception misconception
more is
that,
better.
You've got to go to the gym for an hour or you've got to even go take like a really hard class. And like, no, dude, consistency and showing up and just getting it in as you can, that does it.
Absolutely. And I used to think that too, even a couple of years ago, that more was better, more weights, more whatever, longer hikes, you name it. Now I've completely changed. I do love hard workouts and challenging myself. Absolutely. But I will say in yoga, I opt for a lot of slow flow yoga classes because I swear, and I was talking to the instructor the other day, that they make me stronger. You're holding poses for longer. You're moving slowly, which is like time under tension versus like, okay, next move, this move, that move. I'm like, am I building any strength there? Of course you are in a way.
Yeah, you're more cardio than anything, but yeah.
And I sometimes just do not vibe with that. And so
same.
I agree with you on that one.
Madison shared this saying with me years ago, and I feel like it's maybe something I can plug in here. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Fast. No. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. That's what it is. I thought it was three things.
I don't
what
think
a
it's
bad
three.
thing to bring it up and not even know it.
I think it's
Jesus.
3 things, dude.
Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Okay, yeah, you're right. Did you get that, everybody? We said about 8 times.
Yeah, did you hear it? I don't know.
I don't know. What is what?
Oh, man. Okay, my turn.
Okay.
Okay, so I know you're going to agree with this one. And I don't even think this is a hot take, but I think I just want to say it. A man in a hoodie and / or, it doesn't have to be at the same time. A man in a backwards hat.
It's like kryptonite for me.
I
Both of
literally
those
have
things.
full body chills, dude. I was in Lazy Acres the other day and I saw this man wearing the most stunning outfit. It was just so put together. Blundstone boots on, perfect pants that were like cargo-y pants, but not really, like Dickies vibe. Tailored, perfect to the boot. And then, but it wasn't like too perfect, you know? It was like there was a little grunge, little worker kind of guy. And then he had a hoodie on with the hood on, and it was like a beige outfit. And I was like, oh my God. And not only is he looking amazing in this hoodie and his whole ensemble, but he's in a health food market. That really hits for me. You know, I was like, that is my kind of guy. I don't know anything else about you, but like,
I'm down.
2 out of the 15 things I need are
They're being met.
yes.
They're being met. So
you know,
sign me up.
yeah.
Yeah, Philip knows that's like speed dial for me.
Oh my
Like,
God.
all he has to do is turn his hat around, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty irresistible, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Not everybody, obviously.
not
but like
everyone,
when
but
they're
obviously
hot
like
and
the
they turn
men
their
you're attracted
back,
to. Oh,
their hats
yes,
backwards.
dude, we can't even talk. We're like flustered.
Okay, this is actually contrary to what we were just talking about like being sexy. You don't always have to be sexy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Not a cynical viewpoint.
Uh-huh.
You don't always have to be sexy.
Yeah.
I understand feeling sexy is great. You feel so confident.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what else is really fun is like having a variety of experiences. And sometimes you're goofy, and goofy does not always equal sexy.
It definitely doesn't. Sometimes goofy is ugly as can be.
Because, all right, how's this? Oh, that I think was personal. We're listening to a song earlier. It's a sexy song. It's an R&B song. We listen to a lot of R&B if you didn't know. And I start dancing, but not sexy, you know? And she's like, way to make a sexy song not sexy. And I was like, you know, Madison, shut up.
True
You don't always need to be sexy.
I didn't say that. I was just saying this song is like a vibe, and you're like, like it wasn't bad. It just made it not as sexy as it usually is.
Well, because you're probably picturing something way different, and there I am poking into your ether.
Yeah, totally.
So fuck off. All right.
It does, like, I could even go into that so deeply, but it's like there's this thing with like, I mean, and we'll probably talk about this later, but like sensuality and sexuality that is just like inherent, you know? So it's like stepping out of that zone is just different feeling for me. Yeah.
All right. It's your
So,
turn.
Okay.
I've got one more.
Oh, okay. So I have like it labeled as like fashion faux pas. And something that I never, ever thought that I would go back on is pants with sandals. Now living in North County more, I see a lot of guys that really pull that off.
Do you guys remember, if you've been listening for a while, we did like a whole thing about sandals, and like it was an ick for men, like men wearing sandals. That has been completely erased from my brain.
Yeah, dude.
I see him Philip in a sandal, and I'm like,
you look fucking great today. Backwards hat, hoodie. Let's go, boys.
That's actually his uniform.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's very North County, and the more you see it, the more I see it. And like if a man, like actually only if a man has like good feet too, like, you know, he takes care of them, they're clean, they're tan, like he's probably surfing barefoot all the time. I'm like, that looks fucking good. That looks great.
That's
like
right.
The guy at Nectarine Grove today. Hot.
Yep.
Looked great. So there's an amendment. It's called growth.
Okay. Called growth, and we love it. We're growing up. Isn't that such a beautiful thing?
It really is to change your mind. Yeah, exactly. We're like fully immersed in this culture. We're just obsessed.
My last one was Hot take. Ready?
Mm.
You can handle more than you think you can. And it can be better than what your fear is telling you it's going to be.
That is a very good one.
What a hot take.
Yeah, that's so philosophical.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're like, she has a little depth
Yeah,
to her.
yeah, damn, that's sick. Can you reread it?
You can handle more than you think you can, and it can be better than your fears tell you it will be.
Yes. What inspired this?
I don't know. I think that there's just been, like, I've caught my mind doing that fear-based freak out before I go into something, whether it's a conversation or a session or whatever it might look like. My fear is the first one to talk. And I've realized every time, whatever comes my way here, however the conversation goes, whatever comes out of this, it's probably not going to be as bad as I think. And if it is, I can find my way through it.
Absolutely.
So that's where that came from.
Okay, I really like that.
Thank you.
I've also been, thank you. I've also been thinking about that a lot, just our capacity and also our ability to be, to stay in a state of discomfort. How we're always kind of, I don't know, I was going to say like trying to get out of that state as much as possible, like pain, discomfort. And I'm like, no, we're human. Like that is a part of the human experience. And there also is like, there's like a this and that, you know, like there's pain and that allows us to feel beauty, you know? So it's like, I just want it all.
And then you gotta be careful what you ask for.
Dude, I know, because you usually do get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you do get it. It's really awesome, actually. Okay, I have a few more, but
You want to save them for a later ep?
yeah, maybe let's do that.
I feel
one
like hot
that's
takes
like
are fun.
really mellow.
Okay.
Last one.
Yep.
I think low-rise denim is superior to high-rise. Hot take.
Hot take.
I love a good low-rise jean. Like, around my hip bones, I'm like, let's do this.
I think I've heard,
But they have to be loose. They can't be like
tight.
No,
Skinny
skinny
jeans.
jeans. Skinny jeans are a no for me. No, that's a no.
We've been there. We've
Been there, done that. Never again, probably, maybe, but for the foreseeable future, I really don't think so. It feels like it just isn't good for my body.
Yeah, I get that. I've heard someone rebuttal you before and have been like, but that's because of like, look at your body.
Right.
Like some people feel more comfortable in a higher rise because they feel
very
like
true.
For what, you know, I don't know, just having something around your stomach can feel like comforting and or like you're being held in, like that shit, you know?
Yes, like sucked in.
Totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, low rise is sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
I remember my first pair of low rise jeans, like after going through the skinny jean and the high rise and all that. And I was like, oh, dude, actually way more comfortable.
It is more comfortable because when things
I
are
don't
like on my
this is happening right now. Like, I don't want this
or
up
it's like
against
near
my
your
stomach.
rib cage. I seriously, when we were really in our fitness instructor days, and I would wear really tight high-rise leggings all day. And I just think, how did I do that? Like,
fuck, it's just not good.
I really don't think it is good for you. Just let it out. Let your lower belly out.
Breathe.
Yes, breathe. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it was different. And yeah, so I'm just happy to, you know, be on the low-rise jean track. Yeah. And also I feel like I don't even really, do you notice that you stop kind of looking at like people's style now? Like I do look at it, but I don't like look for like what's trending anymore.
No.
It's just like, well, what do I like?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even know.
You're like, what's cool?
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly. I'm just like, I kind of just wear whatever I want. But yeah. What is happening here? It's like, oh no. Okay.
We just had like a lot of activity. I feel like this is the most active podcast we've had, you know, physically.
Yeah.
Something we did this past week, or I guess like kind of within these past 2 weeks, is we both had our own individual sessions with a medium.
Yes. Angel reader. Very niche.
Super niche.
Very. Never
thought.
Anything. No, never thought I would do something like that. Same for you.
Yeah. It got introduced through Kelly, and then Madison did it, and I was like, well, if you're gonna do it, like that sounds fun. Like I want to know what she has to say.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like we'll spare you guys some of the more intimate details, but it was really cool for us to have a spiritual experience, because I don't think we get that often. Like we are not religious. We don't go into like a formal setting where we like are feeling things like that or like thinking about that. And so it's very self-guided. The dog farted. Very self-guided. And
Dude,
so to have, I feel like I can fucking taste it.
That is fucked up.
It's so pungent.
I'll be sick.
Woo!
Dude, she's right by you too.
We need to get up.
Tess's eyes are watering.
I can't be here much longer, honestly.
Oh my
but
god.
what I will say is that it was really cool just to like be open-minded to an experience like this, because why not? Like, I don't know.
1,000% is like the most seductive thing I can think of, is sitting down with this professional who is basically going to tell you these outcomes that are going to happen on your specific timeline that you're looking forward to. Like that is the sexiest thing I could ever think of.
It is just like, give
like
me
you
a little
have
guidance.
Answers.
Give me a little guidance.
Yes.
And who knows if any of it is rooted in anything real. But it, to me, that doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter, because you take what you want from it and you leave what you don't. Like it's that simple. And in both of our sessions, which we'll get into some of the things that she said to us, but she said things that were very relevant to our human experience. Yeah. And I was like, all right, I was skeptical a little bit at first, like me and Tess not like providing any information whatsoever. We're just like, let's just see what she comes up with. And it was so relevant. And we each have like papers full of what she said. Yeah.
To clue you in on just some of it.
Yeah.
They talked on my end about how I'm kind of in a position to be like, my kind of duty here is like to lead and to help like filter the bullshit through. But in becoming that leader, like it takes time and it takes a lot of experience. And I've always like, okay, it sounds like really boastful to say like, oh, I viewed myself as a leader for a long time, but like I've been in these leadership roles for
and
a
I
very
can
long
attest to
time.
that as your best friend for like almost 10 years.
Whether it's family, whether it's in my job, like I've been in a management role for so fucking long. And like before I was ready.
Right.
Honestly, it felt like that. And even some days I'm like, am I ready to like be managing people? But like you are, but that's kind of what we were talking about, or at least what she was sharing with me was like, this is actually your path. This is who you're meant to be. And it's going to continue to unfold.
Yeah. Which
amongst other things, you know?
Yeah, of course. And then, so a little bit of background though. So what we were saying is that she's an angel reader. I can't remember the exact qualifications that she had, but she contacts our angels, which I had 3, and she goes in to say like their color scheme, what their purpose is like in each of our lives. Everyone has different angels, all of that. And they are basically giving us guidance through her, and she's sharing it with us. And one of my purposes, roles like on this planet, is to be a healer, which I was sharing with Tess, is that I've done work like this before, maybe like 6 or so years ago. And the man told me that I was working with the same thing. He's like, are you ready to be a healer? And I was just like, I don't know. I'm like 23 years old. What the fuck does that even mean? And he was like, well, you better get ready because we need you. And I was like, okay. So that just categorized in my brain. And then she brought it up again. I was like, funny you say that, because I've heard that before. So with that, I kind of am just like lingering on that thought. And I'm like, what does that look like? And like, in a way, like we already are these people. Like you lead, I heal in a sense. And
in a sense, give yourself credit. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also it's like showcased through our skills, like on this podcast, even if it's like quote unquote smaller impact, like we're already kind of moving towards that.
I mean, you start somewhere, right?
Yes, exactly. And I think that this also, the podcast has helped us develop our voices. more so.
Totally. Yeah.
And that's really special and powerful, honestly. But that was that. And she even went on to say like very specific things, which we're not even going to like get into because I feel like that's a little bit too vulnerable, but just like the age at which I'll be married with kids, what he's going to look like, which is interesting because he looks like the last person I dated a little bit, but that's okay. I think we just all have a type, you know?
Yeah.
And so there's that. And what else? That my healing abilities are anchored in like my sensuality and sexuality, which I feel like every time I say that to someone like in my inner circle, I preface like it isn't necessarily the act of sex. It just like is the divine feminine, like, you know, kind of describing what that is to me, which is cool.
Yeah. Didn't she bring up that a lot of people when they're around you, they'll bring up.
She was like, I don't know about you, but like when I'm with my friends and we start to talk about like sex and those things, they get like really uncomfortable and like almost weird. But I'm, you know, your angels are saying that when people are with you, they feel totally comfortable and they talk about it all the time. And I was thinking, I cannot wait to tell Tess this information because Tess has brought this up since the beginning of our friendship.
Yeah, because I would bring her around people that I've known for so many years and like closely, and I've never talked about sex with them. In comes Madison. These people are fucking men and women hurling themselves at her with information, whether they want it or they just want to share it and talk about it with her. And I'd be like, everywhere we go, someone's bringing up sex. And I've never seen this before. Why the fuck is this happening? There's something about you that's bringing it out of people because it doesn't get brought up with me. So you better look into that. I don't know. Maybe you're like, maybe it's your hot body, your little outfits. I don't know. Or maybe it's just like deep within. There's something about you where maybe people feel comfortable in that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just remember one of our friends came over and he was like, so what's your kink to Madison? And I was like, what the fuck did you just say?
I've known you for 10 plus years. Where's that coming from?
Can you just fucking leave? I don't appreciate
Actually, we don't want dinner. Get out. I don't appreciate that.
Get out of here. You're taking my wholesome night.
Yeah.
You're turning it into trying to get with Madison. Get out.
That's so funny.
Are you guys surprised that like every male friend that I introduced Madison to, not every, but a lot of them were like keen on her? No, we're not surprised by that.
Well,
but the
so
way
nice.
at which they, again, hurled themselves at her in this very forward way, I was shocked.
Yeah.
So when she said that, I was
so
like,
excited to tell you that piece
confirmed.
of information.
This must be real. Confirmed.
Exactly.
This must be real.
Yeah. And it was just a very cool experience. And I would say that if anyone has access to having a phone call or meeting in person with like a medium or someone who does that type of work, if you feel drawn to that in any way, make it happen. Amen. It is expansive and seriously so eye-opening. And it also gives you, not that I have so much hope for life, but it gives you just like a leg up. If you feel called to that, just do it.
Just book it.
Yeah.
And have like really open-minded.
Yes, that's right.
No expectations.
Yes. Okay. So, and you know, with like the milestones that she was saying, like at this age it's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. That I don't necessarily, like I take it to heart in a way, but I'm not like, okay, like it's, you know?
Yeah, you can't like put a date on the calendar and expect this to all.
Right, because I'm like open to life and the way that it flows. And
yeah,
all
and
of
she's
that.
also expressed that you have free will. And
Correct.
so that things could shift. Like this is the session based on here and now.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah.
So it just like, again, opens your mind to things that maybe you didn't think about before. But in these sessions specifically, they were things that we have been thinking about. So I think it's just like inspires me to go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
And like to like view like the subtle nudges and like synchronicities that happen in my day. I'm like, oh, that's because of this. And then, you know, so yeah. And back to like what I was saying at the beginning of the episode, walking on the beach with you yesterday. And I was like, God, I feel like right place, right time. This is cool. there's like an energy about this place, healer, leader, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I feel like that's all we've got today, you know?
That's definitely
That's
all
where
we've got.
when we are wake surfing or wakeboarding and we're done with our runs, we go like this and we tap our head. And I notice that I've carried that into the rest of my life of like when I feel done, I'm like, yeah, done.
That's
over it.
cute.
Yeah.
I like
so we're
it.
done
Okay.
for this week. And we'll be back next.
Yeah. I hope you guys have a great week whenever you're listening to this. A great few days.
Amen.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye. Love you.
Talk soon.